like.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Yes, regardless of your age, race, or gender, everyone's got questions about relationships, your dating life, matters of the heart. We're starting a new segment here on Good Day Alabama we call Where is the Love? We bring in licensed therapists to answer your questions that you can submit anonymously, and we'll tell you how to do that in just a bit. But first, let's welcome in licensed therapist Dr. Misty Smith. Misty, good morning to you.
Thank you for having me.
We've been hearing a lot about social media and how it's involved with relationships, and particularly with Manti-Teo, which we'll get to in a moment. But I know you get questions like this all the time too, and particularly with Facebook. Talk about one of the common ones that seems to come up a lot.
One of the common questions, Mike, that comes up is that people interact with old friends, family on Facebook all the time. It's a great source for that. Right. However, we also end up getting friend requests from old flames, right, old girlfriends, boyfriends, and it starts out very innocent. People are just curious, but a lot of times feelings kind of reappear that we thought were gone.
Right. So like if a female, if she's married and she's getting these overtures from an old boyfriend, all of a sudden those old feelings start coming up, but she's married, that's an issue. You know, what can she do? She wants to be true to her husband. You know, how should she handle that?
Right, and that becomes a little more difficult. We don't want to give up our Facebook privileges, but we need to keep our marriage intact, our relationship intact. So if you start having those feelings, my recommendation is just that you take a step back from Facebook, maybe take a step back from communication with that individual, and reevaluate your marriage, because most people don't have affairs and don't have emotional affairs even unless they are missing something in their marriage, a need that's just not being met. And a lot of times you can sit down and have a conversation with your spouse and address that and figure out what it is. If they can't figure it out on their own, then my recommendation would be to try to see a marriage counselor and address that, because if your marriage is very much still okay and you just have a few old feelings, then why not give your marriage a lot more attention than the old flame? Well,
and because then people will say, I've heard therapists say this, that it's, if you entertain that, it's hard to get that in terms of a competition with your marriage, in terms of that excitement level, because it's a secrecy type thing, right? Right.
There is a lot of excitement with the secrecy of it. I don't know if you know this statistic, but in 2011, 1 out of every 3 divorce filings mentioned Facebook, and that was up from 1 out of 5 in 2009. So if that trend continues, imagine how many divorce filings are going to mention that it was Facebook.
Now, since we're talking about social media and relationships, the big story recently, Manti-Teo, he was duped into a fake relationship with a woman via Twitter. A lot of people don't understand how he could have maintained a relationship with someone he never met. Is this less bizarre than we think?
I think it is less bizarre, Mike. There are a lot of people who have busy lives. They need that emotional connection. That's what everyone's looking for, is an emotional connection with someone. So busy lives, social anxieties, even people in the media have a lot of trouble sometimes with those interpersonal relationships. So, you know, meeting a girl, carrying on that actual physical relationship might be difficult for him, as it is for many people. Sometimes it's just a lot easier to have that relationship through an online situation.
But let's talk about that. If somebody starts an online relationship, Twitter, whatever, how long should a person naturally go before they say, okay, I haven't met you physically, and I've made overtures and you've declined them a couple times, you came up with excuses. When should they get the hint?
For every person, that's going to be different. Okay. If you are having your needs met and you're happy with that non-physical relationship, that other person may be also. But I would say spend a month maybe getting to know somebody, and then there needs to be a phone conversation. There needs to be physical interaction of some sort, or that person may never have intentions of meeting you in person. And a lot of times people will build people up in their heads during these online relationships and make them into something that they are not. And so if you wait too long, when you do meet that person, you're going to be very disappointed potentially and have wasted a lot of time.
There's a Brad Paisley's got an interesting song about that. It's called Online. It's a pretty funny take on that. All right, folks, if you have a relationship questions, you can mail it to us here at Good Day Alabama, P.O. Box 6, Birmingham 35209. We will not use your name on the air. We promise that. Dr. Misty Smith, thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to working with you over the coming months, and other therapists as well.